I'm Dave Dowd at KeizerTV.com. We're here today at the 2016 Keizer Mural dedication. I have with me here Beth Melendy. She is the chairperson of the Keizer Public Art Commission. Beth, for this mural, you were in charge of the paints, and we want everyone to know the logistics that it took, and also to thank our local paint provider for providing the paint. So share with us what happened.
So myself and Jesse Long, who's another member of the Keizer Public Arts Commission, we kind of took over the role as the paint managers. And we got all of our paint and supplies donated by Sherwin-Williams here in Keizer, and we really appreciate that. And they were so great, like if we would just drop in there and say, hey, we need another quart of white, they're like, here you go. And so we developed this really cool system because we just got, maybe 15 different base colors that we knew we'd be putting on the mural, but also colors that we could mix to make other colors. And Jesse is wonderful at knowing what to mix with something else to make a different color. And so we developed this system where we had these 60 mil syringes basically, and if somebody said, well, I want a color that's like this, and so we would use the syringes to draw up the exacts, like formulas. We made a formula book. So we'd pull up 20 milliliters of white and 20 of red, and we get a certain pink. So we make a little color swatch of it, we write down the formula, so then later on, if we needed to make more of that paint for a touch-up, or then we had a formula there, so we didn't. It was a great way to be very resourceful with the paint we had. We had very little waste, and we could have consistency with it. So yeah, it just turned out to be a great way to manage the paint. And then if we ever do need to do touch-ups in the future, we have our paint book that we can reference later and say this is the color we need to make. So. And
as we want to do more murals, it seems like we're getting the team to set up, deploy, and apply all our best practices, because you didn't have a manual to go by, did you? You just figured this out?
Well, no, actually, I was involved in a lot of the paint on the big toy. And so I've also done some other projects where a lot of paint and volunteers are involved. And so I have learned through the process, what works, what doesn't. But the big toy was a huge lesson on how to manage paint in a way so it's just not a big mess, and we can get people what they need so they can get it there and start putting it on the wall.
So. Beth, you are a Keizer volunteer, and should someone want to become part of Keizer Arts in any format, because behind us is a mural, but we had folks who sketched, we had folks who painted, who filled in the lines. We had people who do a base paint. So for our next projects, we want you to come out no matter your ability or what you think you can or can't do, because it was such a great thing where people came up and just said, hey, I can't do anything. And you put them in the box, right, to do that?
We had several people that just live across the street who walk by and say, hey, what you doing? And they're like, we're painting, you want to help? They're like, well, I'm not an artist. And we're like, it doesn't matter. We have different images on the wall that you literally just paint in the lines. And then somebody else, an artist, will come back and add some detail to it. A lot of those people who thought they could only paint in the lines ended up doing some great work and adding a lot of detail to the work. So, you don't have to be an artist and do art is very there's very different ways of doing art. So we always encourage anybody in the community, no matter what your ability, to come out and help us with these art projects, because we will find something for you to do. And you get a great sense of community when you're involved in these types of projects.
For sure, and that's the end result in our interviews today. It isn't always about the paint, it's about that one-to-one interaction, building relationships.
We've made some great new friends on this project, and some new artists that people that were even new to town that were just walking by. And it's a great way to any kind of volunteering, whether it was the big toy or this project or any other type of volunteering you do in Keizer. You just meet some wonderful, great people, and they could be friendships for a lifetime.
Yeah, for sure. And so check out the Facebook page on screen of the Keizer Public Art Commission to get connected to more opportunities to be out there, and say thank you below here in this video to Beth and a whole team of volunteers that they are great of what makes Keizer so great to be here. Tell your husband thanks, because he probably didn't see you. He's recovering from an injury, and you spent a lot of years.
Brad, he took over the reins at home when I was here a lot of the time. So yes, thank you.
Thank you, Beth, for talking with us. And for more great stories, visit KeizerTV.com. Thank you.